Hey y'all, this is Church from Church's Intake. So I want to talk about, I guess, the uproar that's happening in, social media. I don't really watch the news or much, none of that. But I know, the guy Charlie Kirk had got shot and killed supposedly, and I want to say that without being disrespectful, because I kind of know the backlier, or feel a type of way about how everything is coming into fruition. I seen, I guess, glimpses of the supposed shooting, and when I first seen it kind of looked a little sketchy to me. It didn't look so real. And then kind of like, I know how the world is run, and it's a lot of psyops going on. Like, you really have to have some real good discernment. And it's like my spirit is kind of like, there's another agenda to the thing that happened. And I don't really want to talk about, the supposed, like the shooting, really. I wasn't really kind of like where my spirit was going. My spirit was kind of like going towards, like, trust no one, nothing, investigate everything. And I really didn't see like the original shooting. Obviously, I wasn't in Utah. But like I said, it didn't look so real. And then I seen other videos, the sleight of hand type of stuff, and I know how the Masons, in the higher ups, they want you to fight against each other, and you can't be in your feelings. Also, before I get into whatever, his wife, kind of when you mourn, it was a little bit like scripted. Yeah, it's all scripted to me. Like, when you mourn, you're not gonna have no ASAP funeral. Like, the funeral is like next day air. They writing books on the ball before he even died. It don't smell. It don't pass the smell test, dog. Like, just being honest, man, it don't pass the smell test. But that's not really the point. The point is that they're trying to get the people to go up against one another, the left and the right. So now that we know supposedly the person that had shot the bull would be on the right, and then obviously Charlie Kirk is on the right, and they were trying to say like he was on the person that shot him was the Democrats. And I mean, like I said, I don't rock with the Democrats at all. Actually, I don't rock with either side technically, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff coming into fruition in my eyes. The way they see things is not how a normal person see things. So to me, I don't know if he's even going, to tell you the truth. There's too many red flags, that's trying to say, but the way that the thing happens with the spirituality and everything, it's just like, I know, like, they be energy harvesting and all this other stuff. Like, it's deep. And when you in the rabbit hole, like, you gotta kind of stay away from the political thing. I know they're using this as, like I said, a psyop to get the people to basically kill one another, causing chaos, order from chaos. And this is what the low vibrational beings want. Obviously, there's a reason that he got supposedly killed. Is because of the Zionists or the Ashkenazi Jews, saying that, he started seeing, and he basically went up against the same monster that he used to support. And a lot of people are waking up that, in all actuality, we shouldn't be fighting for Israel the way that we be standing up for Israel, especially if they're not even the true Hebrew Jews. They're Jewish Ashkenazis. But that's on another note, like what I'm here to say is don't be caught up in this political, hazing. They're trying to find a way to get to the people to cause an uproar. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do it the God way. We're going to study. We're going to assess. We're going to investigate. And then we're going to expose what is truth and what is not truth. And I just seen that people was mocking, if even if he's not dead, or if he is truly dead, you should never mock the dead. Like, you're causing curses on you. You're starting to see like people's true colors coming out. Like, I know the jab people, the jab definitely took some souls out here, and you can see it, and it's on the book, you can see it all through the social media threads and all of that on both sides too, even the political sides. It's just all like it's really that chaos, order out of chaos. But people aren't really peeping the game. Like, they're trying to use you and manipulate you in such a way that, you're thinking you're right when you're actually, you should kind of play the back seat for a little bit, let things play out. And that's what a lot of people do. We just rush to conclusions instead of letting things play out. Patience is a virtue. Like I said, my man got shot, buried in like 2 days. Book made, like, dude, I don't know. That's I don't know. So when I think of that, it's just like, what is going on? And then, Trump with it, not really, like, I get it, not backing it. And then, it's about the Epstein files. And like I said, man, you got to trust no human being, and you got to trust God, because obviously God used Trump as a vessel. First term, I guess even the start of the second term. But is my man's hands clean? I don't know. I would say no one's hands is truly clean, you know what I'm saying? But is he on them files? Is he truly on them files, or are they just using him as bait? Or is he using the files to go against the others to basically say, I'm gonna keep it on the down low as long as you do my bidding for me? But we do know that Israel runs America. We do know that. You know what I'm saying? People are starting to wake up to that, that we shouldn't be backing the Ashkenazis like before we back up the American people. It's just not right. And the people gotta, get out of this heartstring, because that's what the devil's gonna use. And the minions is gonna keep on trying to pull on them heartstrings. And you really have to be like on it. Like, you gotta be vigilant. Don't rush to conclusion. Don't rush to, believing the story from the media. because they're giving you what they want to give you instead of you researching and investigating. I know it happens so fast and people are like, yo, he's a good guy and this, that, and the third. I get all of that. Or some people saying he's a bad guy. I get all whatever y'all saying on both sides. But you shouldn't come to conclusions. Also, it's showing who's got what type of spirit on them. People aren't even realizing that you're already pulling your own curtain, mocking the bull's death. Like, you're cursing yourself. Like, when you mock the dead, be ready for that get back, dog. Like, that's what happens. I don't care what, bad or not, dog. You can say whatever. God don't care. He don't play like that. He don't play. You ain't gonna play. Who was the rapper? Julio, whatever, dude. You mock the dead. Everybody that mocks the dead, man, out of here. You don't play like that. And God ain't playing like that. And then it's all spiritual, you know what I mean? You causing karmic debt to yourself when you're doing stuff like that. And then the other people that's like super pro, like, oh, I'm a Republican and Republicans don't do this, or I'm a Democrat and Democrats, like, bro, like, it's a uniparty, man. Like, if you don't know that the government is not for you by now, you're still asleep. Government's not for us, man. And the people that's supposed to be, leaders or whatever, that's supposed to be talking, they know that the government ain't for us. You know what I'm saying? And they're not really speaking out about it. So it's like you still have to investigate what's going on, because no one knows the true reason why. But we do know it was, one of the reasons was for us to have, a civil war on our own land, which we shouldn't do that. Not for the death of no Charlie Kirk. I get it. A lot of people love the bull on both, a lot of people hated the bull, but don't feed into that from the government, because that's the government's tool to try to get people to ixnay themselves, like supposedly they did to Kirk. Just like how Epstein is supposedly dead. Like, come on, man. We know he probably in Israel, which is like, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, people hiding, you know what I mean? Sleight of hand. Like, we in a mystical world. Like, everybody got to understand, like, magic is being pressed upon you, pressed on you, you know what I'm saying? And definitely if you sleep and you can't see behind the veil, you have to know that what people are researching and figuring out is because they're not still asleep. They can see certain things. Like I said, when I seen it, I don't even try to say how much I could see. And it didn't look real to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could feel that. I could feel like, dang. But it just kind of looked like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But it could have been true until we figure out the whole story, because you got to put it into a whole. And it don't just take no 1 or 2 days. It ain't even been a week yet, dog, and everybody off on the deep end on both sides. Even Christians alike and all this Zionist stuff. Like, I get it. Now, we already know what position that those Zionists and everybody play. Like, you can't talk about the Ashkenazis, dog, and don't think that the Ashkenazis going to try to cancel you, son. That's what everybody needs to be woken up. So that's one of the things that, God is exposing, which is great. Knowing that your government's not for you, which is great. So you can know how to, prepare for what's coming. Because what's coming and they ain't telling you is, it's a spiritual warfare going on right now. Dark against light. Dark ain't going to win this one. Dark's trying to win it by any means necessary. That's why I believe the bull gone. It's a dark versus light, and they trying to use your heartstrings to get against light workers, dark, you know what I'm saying, dark people trying to be back in, you know what I mean, trying to get energy harvest and stuff like that. Like, it's deep, and it's not like just cut the way you would think, like, oh, it's like this and that's how it is. It's like, nah, fam, that's not how it is, and it's never going to be how it is. And if you know how Masons move, they always got the sleight of hand going on. There's always a reasoning for it. The reasoning will come out. And once the reasoning come out, what will happen, then you're going to know what's going on. But until then, you know, give it a week or two. Give it like 2 weeks. Let it simmer. Let God expose what needs to be exposed. And you'll find out that it's deep. And it's not what they saying it is. For sure. That's 100%. But what we need not to do is get too caught up on being too pro-political in these times. Being anti against your own brother, your white brothers, your black brothers, y'all both the same. That's crazy. But that's what y'all believe. I mean, people, y'all the same, dog. Like, that's mental warfare from the beginning because of the, you know what I mean, the fallings, the Nephilims trying to keep y'all separated and segregated, because the Nephilims got the skin tone of your lighter brethren. That's all that is. So they're shade because they coming from the depths of the freaking hole in the rocks. You feel me? So you already know they gotta be white pale, but that's not the brothers not the white brothers, bro. People be so caught up, man, thinking they know so much when they know so little. But you need to be vigilant. Stop with this race war crap, with this political crap. Get right with God, build with God, get a relationship with God, and you will start to realize it's bigger than that. And that's what they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that God wants you to be more independent on self. God wants you to eat, making your own things, being a creator. That's what the time is. We're going back to the beginning, dog. There's going to be more creators out here, creating the new, high vibe, positivity, love, and light. That's what we coming with. And anything that's of the darkness is getting extinguished and exposed. That's what the panic's all about. So know that. Operate how you need to operate around it or whatever. But stay in tune. Watch and be vigilant. Don't assume. Don't go too quick. That's what a lot of people want to be the first. They want to be the first on it, on the scene. And shoot, even sometimes I'll be like I'll be too quick sometimes, and I'll be trying to take it back, because the second day when I started really seeing things, I was kind of like whatever with it, and it was like, I don't know. And now I would rather it be like that, so it gives me more time to investigate what God wants me to know. But what God definitely wants you to know is follow him, and he will show you the way. We gotta stop being dependent on our government and believing the lies that they keep on telling us, because all the history is his story. Know that. I'm gonna leave that one right there. This is Church from Church's Intake. God bless.